So mixing low end can be tricky sometimes, especially if you have, multiple bass layers and you have a busy mix. So let's take a look at how I mix the low end in this track. So that it sounds really full, but really tight at the same time. The bass is made up of 3 layers. We have the sub. Layer 2 is the main bass that you hear. And then layer 3 is more hidden. It's a support layer. The first major decision that I made in terms of like production and mixing with this bass was to separate my sub. And the reason I did this is because by nature, restyle basses tend to go in and out of phase with each other. And I'll show you what that looks like. So I have that mid re bass channel soloed, and let me just take off the high pass so we get all of the sub frequencies as well. I'm looking at this section down here. This is all the sub frequencies, and it's pretty obvious that like this note is a lot louder than this note. And that's going to sound like the sub is getting louder and quieter. This type of phasing is less important as you move up in frequency. But for the sub, I wanted every note to feel like it was, really consistent in the same volume. So let me just re-enable the high pass on that mid bass, and I'll also solo the sub, and we can look at the difference here. And now we're getting a lot more consistency with our sub, right? And if I solo that with my kick, we're getting a really nice transition from our kick into our sub here. And then that re-space is filling out kind of the low mids, which is just on top. So we're almost stacking it. We have the sub, and then on top of it, we're adding our main re-space. And then bass number 3 is a mono support layer. So it's really just existing from about 150 to, just under 500 hertz. And it's just adding some fullness to that lower mid range, where again, the re-space is kind of going in and out of phase a little bit. On the bass group, I have some multi-band compression, and that's really to control the low mids because there's so much going on there. Again, I'm doing this for consistency. I don't want it to feel like there's huge jumps in volume in the low mids of this bass to make it sound like really full and consistent the whole time. And then after that, I just have some simple EQing to clean up the sound a little bit farther, and then kickstart. So this is what they all sound like together. Awesome. So I hope that helps you guys mix your low end a little bit. And yeah, hit me up if you want to work together.